And we are live!
Will you stop doing that? Oh my goodness.
You said don't shout in my ear. I'm so sorry.
I have always said to you, don't shout in my ear.
Hello, everybody. It's midday and it's a better cup of tea, a better way of life, a better way of everything with me, Graham, and Odessa. Yay!
It's a better way of something. I'm not sure.
I've got so much energy today. It's unreal.
You are getting worse as the day goes on.
I know. It's because I'm eating my biscuits.
Well, some of us weren't allowed to go and get lunch beforehand because we were very rudely demanded to attend said live without sausage rolls. So, you know, it's nice to see that you don't adhere to your own rules. Just eat in front of me, that's fine.
You can't have sausage rolls because I'm eating diet biscuits.
I can have whatever the hell I like. I didn't sign up to your diet, did I?
No, go and get yourself a sausage roll if you like.
I'm not going to eat in front of people. That's weird.
It is actually.
It's socially unacceptable.
I do apologise.
Yeah. Just like to point out at this moment in time who's the more professional.
Hey, I've got my professional shirt on today.
Were you on time?
I had literally just finished another live broadcast. I was opening up this one to come into this one, and Odessa said, it's 12 o'clock. And I said, yeah, I kind of know that. Just
Cool being organised.
It is. You are very organised, my friend.
It's getting worse. The more I've been drip feeding the crazy. I feel like we're not there yet. I think I've still got some substantial ground to cover. We're not there yet. You haven't reached peak crazy at this point.
I'm a very difficult person to organise, aren't I?
You're not really.
Oh, no. That's nice.
So, I mean, as long as I take a firm approach, it's fine. It's needed.
It's definitely needed. Anyway, hello everybody. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having a good Friday. It's the end of the week.
Does that mean anything though? Does a Friday mean anything anymore?
Oh, now that's interesting. Does Friday mean anything anymore? I think it still does. Yeah.
Wishful thinking.
I want to know how many people build their week around the thought of what they can eat at the weekend. That's
I mean, anybody who, like Graham, is dieting will now build everything around the weekend. Because tell me how consistent your dieting plan is. Are we doing like a 7-day proposition of overwhelming wellness at the end of it? Like, what are we really aiming for here, Graham?
Well, normally I do what we call being good during the week, and then at the weekend it goes to pot. Right. And then you start again with the excuse that it obviously kickstarts your metabolism. At the moment, though, no, I'm going to be good at the weekend as well. So I'm going to continue my
self-flagellation.
My
punishment for being alive.
My punishment at the weekend. I will have a good roast dinner.
Why?
I will have a good roast dinner on Sunday. No, it's just you get into bad habits, and let's talk about these things in terms of habits. I think it's about, with people, it's not necessarily about what you put in your mouth, although that is important, and getting a balance in there and everything is important. But let's be honest, people get into bad habits with eating. Yeah, one of my bad habits with eating, and I'm going to be brutally honest now, is the pastries from a certain supermarket. Oh,
which you've written about before. I mean,
I wish I had written about before.
I'm sorry. I don't think that's worth it. I don't think that's worth falling on the bandwagon for. Sorry, a pastry is not worth it. Do you not find them really annoying when they get really flaky and then it just goes everywhere and then you are just covered in flaky pastry?
That doesn't happen. My mouth is too big.
Well, I mean, I was given some almond croissants, which are my favourite. I don't care how they perform in the poll or what people think of them. People haven't got personality.
I thought you were on the side of maple and peanut.
I was, because you didn't put an almond croissant in there. Right. I mean, that would.
Well, it's because they're not available from that particular supermarket.
All I can say is that an almond croissant was presented to me. I ate it. Massive piece fell off. Gave it back. gave it back to him. I was like, I'm not dealing with this. I hate it. I'm covered in crumbs. And he was like, you haven't eaten breakfast. I was like, I don't care. I don't care how sick and hungry I am. I'm now covered in pastry, and that's just a problem I don't want to deal with. So I handed it back. Didn't eat it.
Do you know what? It's not the pastry that gets me. It's when they cover it in that icing sugar or flour. Do you know what I mean?
I don't mind. That I don't mind.
No,
because you can just let your finger or dust it off. That's fine. But being covered in pastry, no, it's not okay. It makes me quite angry. Can you tell?
Are any of you out there? I'm going to talk
as neurotic
because we always talk food when we come and do these
that
lives.
was the agreement, yeah.
Yeah, that's part and parcel of what we talk about. Does anyone else like those white milk bottle sweets?
No. No.
Because I have to say, because this is the thing with the white milk bottle sweets.
Soggy. There's no flavour. No.
There are two versions of those sweets. There are those that just go, they're quite hard, but then they just go sticky. There's another one that's covered in powder.
Yeah.
Right?
No to all.
Can I just say, as a piece of advice to anybody out there that likes those sweets, do not eat them whilst driving, right? Especially in a soup, because over the years I've tried this, and
I'm intrigued that we're now building a conversation out of this.
You eat them and you get this white powder all over your, and then you've got to get it off, and so you try wiping it on the seat and everything else.
You don't wipe on your seat. Let's be frank. You're a man. You wipe on your trousers.
Inevitably, you end up wiping some of it on your trousers. It just looks wrong.
Well, of course it does.
It just looks bad, and you get out, and you're then trying to get this white powder, and that in itself looks.
No, sorry,
well.
no.
So
eat better sweets. Like, raise the bar for what you're putting in your mouth. Like, if you're going to cheat and you're going to do something stupid, let's make it worthwhile. Milk bottles. We're having a conversation. You're on a diet, and the thing that you're missing that you want to have a conversation about is milk bottles.
No, it's not the thing. It's not the thing
that
I'm missing.
Well, that is the thing that we've just spent an inordinate amount of time talking about.
I don't think that's the
thing that you'd miss.
You reminded me of that because you talked about the flakiness and the messiness of almond croissants. What are your favourite sweets?
I like Mawam quite a lot.
Oh, yeah.
They're strange. Or the Swizzle, the variety pack where you get the refreshers in them and stuff like that. When I was pregnant with my youngest, we put them in the fridge because I loved them when they were really cold.
What? Is that a thing?
She was born in the August. It was blooming hot. We put them in the fridge. And they were amazing because then they're like really brittle. And then when they warm up in your mouth and then they go gooey. But I didn't want them to be gooey straight away because I'm like, there's nothing. Okay. Crazy's coming out. There is nothing worse than being sticky. There is nothing in this world more annoying. So the very thought of opening a refresher, and when you open it and it always gets stuck to the wrapper, and you're trying to peel it off, and then you've got to try and half suck the wrapper because it's still in there and you really want the sweet, and it's covered in that sherbet stuff. It was nothing worse, and I just couldn't deal with the thought of being sticky.
I've never had a refresher that's gone sticky. They've always been quite powdery.
No.
Right.
No, put them in the fridge.
So
not but like the Mawam strips and stuff.
Yeah. Out of the different things that are available within that packet, other packets of sweets are available, by the way. For those that want to know, there's the ones that are, the multicolored ones in a long tube, which are the ones you just talked about. There's the ones that have got love hearts on them, aren't there?
The love heart ones are the best. They are.
Yeah. And then there are Parma violets.
Yeah, I do like Parma violet.
And the multicolored mini ones as well.
Yeah, and then you get the lollies, the chalky lollies, because you got to get the chalky lollies. I do not like the other lollies, like the blackcurrant ones with the sherbet in the middle. It has to be the chalky ones. And I inevitably get really sad because I've eaten them too quickly. I'm so excited to have them, but no, they're chalky. but they're the right kind of chalky that it doesn't stick to you. It's that powdery, it's the texture of the chalk that we've got to be most concerned about. You didn't think this was going to be such an in-depth conversation, did you?
I think it's a great conversation.
You have met your match.
The thing is, for me, those ones that are made for children in the smaller packets, when you get like the smaller packets of the bigger packet sweets. I'm trying not to talk about brands here because, you know, unless they're going to sponsor us, then why should I be giving them advertising?
In which case, why not?
Then that would be fine. But the smaller packets of the bigger packets, you know, the multi-pack things, or the ones where, you know, they're this sort of size, and you know, they're dangerous, I find, because you just feel like I'll just eat one of those. By eat one, I mean eat a packet, and then once you've eaten one, you just go, well, it's tiny, isn't it? It's tiny, that packet. That packet's only a tenth of like a normal packet, so it wouldn't hurt if I had 10 of those packets, and before you know it, you've eaten the whole.
I don't buy them.
No, it's never happened.
No, actually, no, it hasn't. I'm more likely to do that with crisps.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and sweets. I'm a savoury person more than sweets.
Oh, you've said that before.
As I get older. Yeah, as I get older. It's like we've done one of these before where it might have come up.
Yeah, it might have come up. You didn't tell me what flavour crisp, though.
Well, I don't know. I mean, okay. Do you really want to know? I feel like all right. So, by choice of wow. Okay. By choice of quantity for value of money, I would always go for What's-Its because they really suck them in, and I feel like it's worthwhile. They really do. I've spent a lot of time. Don't ask. Don't even question it. I've clearly done more research. By default, I would always buy Walker's. What makes me really angry is when he buys the meat flavored variety one, because I mean, smoky bacon and chicken have got to be the most depressing flavors, and they stink. So on a good day, if I'm feeling all right, I'll have some the prawn cocktail. If you're not feeling that fancy, I'll have salt and vinegar. I actually did do a video where I sang over said packets of crisps. It was social media day, and I felt like it was appropriate. There's nothing worse than ready salted. That's depressing. I like cheese and onion. But other than that, I mean, if he buys meat flavored crisps, I'm not interested.
Other brands of crisps are available as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they are. But you get one like McCoy's or one of the bigger crisp size, you get like 5. And it angers me as a consumer. But the one that I will always go to, which is extremely dangerous, is either sour cream and chive pretzels, which I know we've had a conversation about, or the Pringles.
Yeah.
In sixth form, I lived off tubes of Pringles.
Once you pop, you just can't stop.
Until you actually, in fact, pop yourself.
Yeah. Until you explode. You see, the thing is with Chris, cheese and onion, I would go to as a default. Right. If there's like, you know, several sort of bland crisps in the cupboard, and that's all there is. If I can find a cheese and onion, that's what I'll go to. But if I'm out shopping and I can pick, then I do like the flame type flavored ones, the meaty ones. You see, I do. Maybe it's a male thing.
I think it's a standards thing, but carry on.
Right.
I'm a snob. I'm not afraid.
But also, I really do like the extreme heat ones.
Why do you hate yourself, Graham? No wonder you go on an oatcake diet. You spend 99% of your time eating stuff that makes you want to die inside because you feel like you're on fire. Of course, you need to have several weeks of complete and utter ash food because your body needs to heal and you need to make peace with your stomach.
Do you know what I think? Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I probably killed myself over the years, but I think what it is it's speaking to me like a challenge.
I mean, it's why I eat them, but since the chili sensation ones, they're horrible. They're not nice. I think they're wrong. But I mean, I like a chili heatwave Dorito. That's actually my favourite flavour.
I won't tell you the make, but there is a make.
I mean, we've named them all, so I think we're being fairly diverse and fair to
okay. Well,
single type of crisp. I think that we've covered all of it.
The Seabrooks extreme ones
No.
are just so
No,
hot.
but the
They are
quality
great.
of the quality of the crisp itself
Is brilliant.
no, they're inevitably the ones that go soggy first.
No,
They're
no,
like
no.
no, they're like the
Oh,
supermarket owned white bread. There's
no,
just they're not okay.
no, I love them. And
Fine.
I have to
But I
say
don't think we can be
they're
friends anymore.
I think we can. I think the extreme ones, they're so hot. I can't actually manage a whole bag. Can't manage.
They was Doritos, they did those Max ones, but they did some recently, didn't they? Like a nacho, like jalapeno type flavor.
Yeah. Oh, well, actually, this was interesting. I went to a supermarket and found on one of their, the cage things that they put up occasionally where they're selling stuff off.
Mm.
And they were doing the ones that are in the tube, but
we've already mentioned.
Yeah, but the extreme flavor version of those, right, for 20p a tube. So I thought, do you know what? Because it's 20p a tube, I'm going to buy them. They're still in date and everything else. They were so hot. They were so hot. It wouldn't matter what you put on that.
What I find really interesting though, and sour cream would be a good shout. A bit of sour cream, that would be nice. But do you know what I find really interesting is that clearly to get to the point of putting them on your shelves, they didn't just race it through Dave, who really likes jalapenos and is happy to eat whatever will blow his face off. They actually put it through rigorous testing. So at some point, big groups of people said, yeah, do you know what? I think that will sell. Then it gets to the supermarket and they go, oh, do you know what? There's not a market for this. Suddenly have to pull them all off and sell them off for 20p. But it's always the really extreme ones that don't last. And then they bring them out again slightly later down the line because there's an explosion of people who hate themselves and want to spend the next afternoon with their porcelain friend. And they bring it out again. And several brands have done this over and over again. And I don't understand. I think we've learned from the last batch of 20p sell-offs that there is no market for a crisp like that.
Yeah.
Rant over.
Don't you think we see things like that though on LinkedIn with other people's marketing?
Where are we going with this?
Just saying, I think sometimes things look attractive at first because there's something majorly tempting in there. I can buy into that. It's going to blow my mind, literally. And then actually at the end of the day, there's been no research done behind that veneer that they put on it in the first place. So there's no actual proper substance behind. And then isn't
that like 90% of social media? Because everyone's so giving themselves that pat on the back for being part of the 1% who's content creating. They think they can get away with anything. And then they flood. I mean, don't get me wrong. Do I plan my content? Not particularly. I'm just that creative and I just write like that. But there are people who do plan their content and it's subpar. And then there are other people who think they've got it, and because they're creating, it doesn't matter what they're putting out there. And you know what? No. I would rather you create 2 pieces of really fantastic content a week than trying to hit the 5 days and just regurgitating the same thing from a different angle, or it's complete and utter nonsense and a waste of time. Somebody put out, a friend of mine, Randall, put out a conversation about polls and how he was irritated with polls for no reason. They don't have any text, it's just a poll. And it was like, it's clearly just clickbait. I think Chris Williams put something else out like that as well earlier in the week. And it's just annoying. Like, I have an opinion about everything, if you couldn't tell. And I'm more than happy to share it. But what are you going to do with it afterwards? If I can't see the value in the question, you've just wasted my time. And then, as Randall's pointed out, you're just going to flood me more with polls because apparently that's the kind of content I like. So I'm just going to see more of it. Yeah.
I mean, I've commented time and time again on people's posts about polls because I don't know, there's something about the fact that I do a lot of polls.
Every day.
I like
yours though. I actually do like yours.
But here's the point, and that's why I comment, is because I think people miss the point. And I've said time and time again, the poll is just a mechanism. It's a mechanism like, putting up a picture and text, that's a mechanism. It's like doing a video, that's mechanism. That's how the content is, delivered in that particular way. But just because you use a particular mechanism, that mechanism in itself isn't the thing that's wrong. It's the content behind that you're attaching or putting onto that mechanism that's wrong.
It might not even be that. It might not even be that. It may just be the person's motivation for why they used a poll.
Yeah, right.
They might actually have a genuine reason, or it might be that they're doing the whole try and get engagement thing and start a conversation. And so, yeah, do you know what? The some people, that's just delivery, and that's something you can sort out. But it's the people that do a poll for the sake of doing a poll, because everyone knows that polls do really well, that just want as much traffic to their profile as possible. And it's like, following a sat nav down a one-way street. It's completely pointless. You've been led down this little route, and now what do? You've got traffic piling up, and everyone's angry and wondering why the hell they went down here in the first place. And you're probably unlikely to get anyone follow you again. There are people where they've overpolled me, and I'll just scroll past.
I've been overpolled.
I've been overpolled. You say it once that you like to give your opinion, and now all of a sudden just everyone's in your way. And there are certain people where even just in content, where they're just trying to start an argument. It's not even, okay, you just don't ask me questions if you don't want the rant. This is why it's great, yeah. There are people where they are just starting a poll because they know if they get everyone angry, that everyone's going to jump in and defend somebody or defend a practice on LinkedIn. And it's just aggravating people for the sake of it. I love a little bit of controversy. That's fine. Have a little bit of an opinion and a discussion. That's the whole point of social. But don't make people angry. Don't deliberately stir people up to anger. The whole point of it is you want to have a positive experience and positive information as a result of it. Social media needs to be a positive interaction between strangers, connections, and then friends.
Absolutely. Stuart, my friend Stuart. Hi, Stuart. Writing good poll that's inclusive and doesn't have a leading question is hard to do. It's true. Yeah, it's true. Not for me, but for everybody else, it really is. No.
Well, I write polls about hot chocolate.
Exactly.
There's always a business message behind it. That's not a waste of time.
No, I think that's the point, though, isn't it? It's people have to see the skill behind what's being written.
Skill. Thanks. I'll take that.
Exactly, regardless of what the mechanism is. Absolutely. Waves. There he is. Stuart's waving.
Hi.
We'll wave back, just like that, because we can. But yeah, I mean, to me, it doesn't matter what you do. I mean, you can produce video content, but if you don't produce that video content in a way that's engaging and dynamic and everything else, then it's pointless. You might say that about this live session now, but it's not, because actually people are engaging in it.
And we do take our content creation very seriously. It's what we build our life around. Therefore, having a existential conversation about the content on LinkedIn is quite important. It
is. It's fundamental, even.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, folks, if don't just jump on the bandwagon with whatever is the way of producing content at any given time, because that's not going to work for you. That's the other thing. I wrote a post about that the other day, is the way people give up. You see, people again don't realize consistency is key.
Yeah,
I know that sounds like a very coachy thing to say, but it is absolutely true.
Well, you know that because you've been eating oatcakes every day for the last how many weeks?
2 weeks now.
Yeah.
That's consistent. That's consistency. Consistency.
Consistent punishment.
It's important. You've got to be consistent.
But, well, the only problem is you get a flash in the pan person where they really drive for it. I had somebody who I like quite a lot, but they tried it for a week, couldn't really see where it was going, and then gave up. And I was like, you've got into a habit now of doing it every day, Monday to Friday for a week, and you're starting to see views go up. You're actually starting to see the traction now. And it's one thing I like about Ashley's workshop is that you actually start being accountable and logging details down so you can see the growth and you can start measuring it yourself.
Yeah.
And it's the same with lots of things. You get into a really good habit of like going for a run 3 times a week, or, you know, eating healthily for a certain period of time. And then after a couple of months, if you haven't really got into a good quality habit, you drop it and you never come back to it again, because something will come up and it will be the first thing that drops. So start in small, sustainable ways, doing it in a way that you enjoy. Don't do it because you're supposed to. If it's only 2 posts a week that you feel you can actually only add quality to, just do 2 a week. But you're actually then giving your audience something. And when they can see the value in it, they'll come back for it. And then they'll learn your posting schedule. And then maybe you'll feel more inspired, and you'll feed off the engagement that's on that post, and you'll find a conversational topic and a direction that somebody has thought of that you hadn't even agreed or thought of as a point of the argument. And then you'll have more content. And again, that's another reason why these conversations are so important to start, because somebody will say something like, oh, that's a post idea right there, or that's an argument, or that's a conversation that we should try and develop and have.
Yeah.
You get inspiration from the strangest of places.
I agree. And it's a bit like I said to you the other day. We
talk all the time. Which of the conversations would you like to reference?
You've got to find natural time to do things as well, because I think that's important. You know, it was a revelation to me the other day that when I go downstairs to make a cup of tea during the day, why don't I rather than trying to find extra time in the day to do additional exercise, why don't I just do a bit of exercise while I'm waiting for the kettle to boil?
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, if you're anything like me, you'll walk away from that cup of tea and you'll forget about it, and then you've done nothing.
Well, then that's not helpful, is it? But the same goes to or applies to people in their engagement or their posts or whatever. You know, if you've got a routine throughout the day anyway, why not build what you're trying to do around that routine? So if you're stopping from your work at one point in order to go and make a cup of tea, why not do 5 minutes worth of engagement while the kettle's boiling? You know, and once you start doing that every day at that time and it becomes part of the routine, then it will happen. You know,
that's why we're really interested to talk to Natasha on Monday, because she is the habit queen.
Oh, I love it. You know, habits is what it's all about.
I'm very bad at keeping to habits. I'm an organized person who doesn't like habits. Can't keep to it.
Oh no, I like habits. I'd never go into the order, but a habit is it's a different type of habit, isn't it? Sorry, dad joke. I promise I won't do any more.
I love dad jokes. Terry gave me one this morning. I was going to share it earlier, but I'm waiting for it.
I hope it's better than mine just then.
I mean, I laughed and then laughed telling James as well. So he said, it was so good. It's the first time he'd spoken to me as well today, so it was even more brilliant. He said, somebody's taken my glasses. I will find you. I've got contacts.
That is good, isn't it?
I love it.
That is good.
Like that. He said he gave me permission to steal it, so thanks, Terry.
Oh, do you know my favourite joke? I've told you this one, haven't I?
I don't know. I won't know until you tell me.
My favourite joke is 2 cows in a field. Yeah, and one says moo, and the other says you. I wanted to say that. Oh dear, pull the other one. Right, there you go.
And on that cheery note,
it's time for us to go. But do remember, folks, that A Better Way of Life's Health and Wellbeing Network event is coming up on the 23rd of the month.
That's next week. Don't listen to Graham when he says it's the end of the month, because it's not really the end of the month. It's next week.
Okay. It's next week, which actually, because because this is quite a long month.
Creeping up on you.
It's creeping up on me. So in order to come along to that event, which is absolutely free, it's a networking event, but not networking like you've known it. It's a better way of networking. That's right. If you want to come along and join us at that networking event, learn a little bit from the human lie detector down Stanton, maybe even get investigated, then all you need to do is click on the comment, which will be below somewhere in this raft of comments, with the link to register for the event, or visit abetterwayoflife.co.uk, where you can click on the page about the event there and book a ticket. It's absolutely free. We'd love to see you there, whether you're a health and safety professional in your own right, or whether
Coach,
you are interested,
HR.
whether you're invested in people, then you need to come along. And who wouldn't be invested in people? Hey,
Trying to get away from all of mine. No,
there you go. Oh, and just a quick update before we leave today is, where are we at with the hair situation?
I have actually had another donation come in. I haven't had a chance because I've been too busy trying to work and do emails and content and whatnot. But yes, we've surpassed £1,000. We've raised it to 2,200 on Mr. Leeds' advice, because apparently you can put a monetary value on hair. So the message is very, Stephen Cox shared it today. The message is very clear. If you're morbidly curious about me chopping it off, all of it, 20th of October. People still think I'm only going to cut off a partial amount. I don't think they understand. No, it's all coming off. My hairdresser is mortified at just how much, because she's been cutting my hair for years, for a long time, and she's very upset that I'm going to take it all off, because most people like my hair quite a bit. Because I've never dyed it or anything. So
I'm just thinking of what we're going to do after this. I know like Children in Need will be coming up in November or whatever. I've always wanted to do a bath of baked beans. I
mean, you could do that for any time if you really wanted to. What you do in the safety of your own home is entirely up to you.
Who knows?
I'm not doing a live with you whilst you're sat in the bath.
No, definitely not.
That will come with a warning. That
would. Folks, thanks for joining us. It's Graham, Odessa, A Better Way of Life. Do come and join us at the event on the 23rd. Do donate, if you haven't already, to the charity for Odessa to have her hair cut off. And what's the date?
20th of October.
20th of October.
We'll be doing a live. Don't worry.
We will be doing it live on LinkedIn and on Twitter.
Watch me cry.
Yeah, it will be great. Thanks for joining us.
Nice thing to say to that.
See you sometime during the day. Bye for now.
Bye.